Yeah. My goodness. We are on the light. Wow. Let's do that show again. My goodness. My goodness. Boys are bread. It's the topic. Boys are bread. Just those who understand, we're going to explain. I'm going to have my young co-host today explain what that means on the topic that we're going to talk about today. But in the meantime, we want to hit straight to our health tip for the week. If you are joining us for the first time, this is the Life and Health Show. I am your co-host, Asamoah, or OT for short, as people call me. And this is my co-host today, little Gifty, or Gifty's daughter, taking the place of her mom today. And she is Edith. And we are on the live today to talk about good stuff about fathers, our series towards Father's Day. So hang tight as we talk about our health tip, and then we'll go straight to the topic in a minute. All right, so for our health tip today, those of you who live in Northern America or the United States and in Canada, you heard a lot of news about wildfires in Canada that is leading to smoke, especially those of us around New York City and upstate New York and the places surrounding it. We saw blue skies, and then the blue sky turned into smoky skies. I was actually called by my dear daughter right here to come inside because there was a news alert that said that everybody should stay inside while I was trying to mow my lawn. So that is what happened. We want to use this as an opportunity to talk about some of the things that we should do this summer. Protect your lungs and protect your person, protect your entire being from getting sick in your respiratory system. All right. So what we're talking about is in this summer, if you live, first of all, if this smoke thing or this wildfire in Canada doesn't stop, then we'll continue to encourage you to stay indoors as much as possible, especially if you don't have to step out. Just crank up your air conditioning and stay inside and protect yourself. But if you have to go out and work or do anything very important, then of course, cut those outdoors very short and come inside as soon as you can. And then also, hopefully, it is over. I didn't see a lot of the smoke today where we are in northern USA, in Connecticut, to be precise. And so I think it's going down. But in case it's not where you are watching us from, or in case you live in a place not even close to the continental US or Canada, but there's smoke around, these are some of the tips that will help you, excuse me, to beat that environmental toxin that is hanging around, or the pollutants that are hanging around. Whether you are watching from China, I hear this, it happens a lot in China and in other places. All right, so the first thing we want you to do, as I've already alluded to, is stay inside if at all possible. The second thing is that if you are asthmatic or you have emphysema, or you have any other respiratory condition, you have a COPD, just make sure that if you are experiencing any signs of shortness of breath, you are having breathing difficulties, you are coughing more, you are producing more phlegm, then you may be reacting to whatever is in the environment that is around you right now. Especially if it's happening because there's smoke, there's burning. Some people in some places that I know, they live right next to the dump, and the dump is always burning. Oh my goodness. You don't want to live like that. Of course, if you have no choice, then you have no choice. But if you do have choice, then just move away from that. And for such people, your best bet is to stay indoors, close your windows, and make sure your air conditioning is on. And so if you have any upper respiratory disease, or if you have any chronic issues with your lungs, then definitely make sure that if you see any symptoms, go in and get checked out. Because studies have shown that during fires, whether it's wildfire or dump burning or any other burning or any other environmental pollutants for that matter, people get more, in trouble, especially those with asthma, emphysema, or COPD for sure. Those people get more diseases. And so that is your health tip for the week. Stay indoors if you can, as the summer heat rises and the atmosphere becomes more toxic. Where we are, we receive alerts. I get an alert on my phone that the air is not clean enough for you to be outside. But you probably don't get that where you are. If you do, then you just follow the prompt and stay inside. If you don't, you got to use your own, wisdom to see is it safe to be outside where you are. All right, so that is our health tip for the week. Hopefully you are going to stay inside and get the best of the summer and not get sick. All right, so with that out of the way, we're talking about our topic today. And our topic is, for short, is Boys Abre. Boys Abre is a Ghanaian language that is just short for, what is it short for? Can you try?
What does it mean?
Yeah.
Oh, boys are like the boys are tired or they're stressed.
The boys are tired, they're stressed. My goodness. See, I taught you something, right? You didn't just, you don't just speak English, right? You speak the mother tongue. All right. So the boys are tired means boys are bred. That's a common thing that they say in other places. So stress, fathers who are stressed, fathers are stressed. And as we approach Father's Day, we want the men out there and the women and the children who don't think fathers are doing much. We want to share with them that fathers are stressed. The fathers are stressed. The boys are tired. The boys are bred. So if you don't come from Ghana, but you want to just say fathers are stressed, just say boys are bred. My goodness. All right. So in our series, we are actually going to talk about the how to handle stress, fatherhood stress. But today, we're just going to introduce you to some of the stresses of fatherhood, 4 major stresses of fatherhood. That's what we're going to talk about. And then next week, we'll talk about how to handle stress as a father or fatherhood stress. If you're, living with a father or husband, you want to help them overcome stress of fatherhood. Next week is the show for it. But today we want to hit on what are even some of the things that stresses fathers. So welcome to the show, and we want to encourage you to hit a like and share. If you haven't shared already, you are not doing good. My goodness, click that share. Just click that share for us so that we can roll with a lot of people. All right. The other thing that I also have to tell you is that the good news, Facebook has recognized our stream as good enough to have people actually contribute to us. So if you like what you see, or if you like our commitment to coming to you weekly and sometimes several times or multiple times a week to bring you content like this, or you agree with some of the work we're doing, you can click the star. If you're watching from Facebook, the star will make sure you donate to our cause and whatever we stand for. Also, will help to rephrase some of the costs that we incur in providing you this. So 50 stars, 100 stars, 1,000 stars, whatever you can give, we will appreciate it and we'll thank you for that. So that is another new thing on the live. So now let's move on straight to our discussion today. All right, so our show outline, I'm going to let you talk. Don't worry, you're going to be talking. But for now, let me just do the introduction. Our show outline is this. First of all, like I said, we are going to talk about fatherhood stress, right? So we are going to talk about stressed fathers. What does it even mean to say fathers are stressed, right? We're also going to talk about a work-life balance, the stresses or the stress that comes from work, trying to balance your work and your lifestyle. And then also, we're also going to talk about parenting stress. Oh, my goodness, my goodness. And then we're also going to talk about, the next one we're going to talk about relationship stress. How do you, as a father, trying to be a father, how are you going to be able to, overcome the stress of being a father and then the stress that comes to your relationship because you're trying to be a father. Like fathers getting stressed because they're trying to play the role of fatherhood, all right, but then they're gnashing or stressing in their relationships too. So fatherhood can also, stress can come that way also. And then I think finally we are going to talk about financial stress that comes with being a father. So if you're a father on the live, we want you to make sure that you are up to, you are commenting and giving. There's more. I'm pretty sure there's more, but this is how long I think time will allow for today. And I already see some people commenting. Let's see some of them. We see, oh, somebody says, wow, nice daughter in the studio. My goodness. Somebody likes the fact that the daughter is on the live. I can't, you won't believe how happy I am, you know. And so I thank you for sharing that. There's another comment that also says what? Another comment also says, Nana Efia Sika Papebi looking good. Oh, thank you, Nana Efia. My goodness. Oh, I think I know Nana Efia. This is our sister in New York. All right, and if your name looks different here, but we know who you are. And I think she said something else. She said something else. She said what again? She said, looking good, Edith. Looking good, Edith. All right, Edith. So you are getting all the likes today. My goodness. I like that. They're going to encourage you to come more with all these positive comments, right? All right. So as we move forward, bring more comments, bring more questions, contributions, and what have you. If we don't get to them on the live, we'll respond when the show is over. All right, so I think we're going to start with our discussion right now. And the first one is what? Stressed fathers. Edith, I'm going to let you talk now. What do you understand when we say fathers are stressed? I'm pretty sure you have a lot to say because you live with one, right? What are stressed fathers?
I think stressed fathers are just I think the burden that comes with fatherhood, I think, is what often causes stressed fathers.
Hmm.
Um yeah, but I mean you said that you are a stressed father, so what would you define stressed fathers as?
My goodness, my goodness. See, that's a smart kid right there. She's giving right back onto me. Yes. So I also think that stressed fathers, uh, every father in one way or the other may be stressed, even if not continuously, at least at some point in your lifetime as a father, you would be stressed. That is what I think it is. And stress, from our previous shows, we have defined stress as the tension, the emotional tension, the physical tension that comes as a result of you not being able to do the things that you want to do. I mean, literally speaking, that is how I will define stress. But as I said, I'm pretty sure if you're a father on the live and you have never been stressed, please share with us so that we will tell people that you have never been stressed. Otherwise, I'm going to say that all fathers may be stressed at one point or the other. And stress is the tension that comes. Stress in fatherhood is the tension that comes as a result of your role as a father, taking care of your family, your work, and all those things that we alluded to that we're going to talk about. So fathers can be stressed. And for us on the Life and Health Show, we're talking about stress, not just as a social issue, but also as a health issue. Because stress, especially in our community, has led and is continuing to lead a lot of people into severe physical ailments such as high blood pressure, emotional or mental illness such as depression and anxiety. And stress has led people to heart disease as well as diabetes. Even we've talked all about this. You can go back to our channel and in our videos and see what how stress causes all those things. But as we zone in on fatherhood and the stress of fatherhood, boys are stress fathers. We want to just see what some of the things are concerning fatherhood that makes fathers stressed. So yes, that is what it means to have stressed fathers. Now, the next one then is work-life balance. So now we are talking about the stresses in fatherhood. The first one that we're talking about is work-life balance. Uh, Edith, I'm going to have you start off with that. What do you see in fathers that mimic stress? Fathers trying to have their work and their life balance. What do you see?
Yeah, I think in other fathers, including yourself, I think I noticed that sometimes a career or your work or other responsibilities can get to be a lot. And then also juggling that with the responsibilities that a family has as leaders of the household, I think juggling all of that together would lead to stress. Um, yeah.
Yeah. So you are basically talking about trying to juggle the life, your regular life as a father, and also your work, right?
Hmm.
And that's exactly what I also believe it is. And it happens. That's why I'm saying that if you're a father and you've not been stressed, you put it on a comment. We will share your name, and we'll all come to you for how you did it. But as far as I know, if you try to work, try to do all the things that men do, especially when it comes to occupation, and then you're also a father, then at some point in time that will lead you to stress. Whether, like Edith said, is due to you're trying to juggle them two together as one person can be something that is stressful. All right, so that is what I also believe is work-life balance. Sometimes, to career-wise, if a father wants to, achieve something in life, you try, and what you do is you want you want to excel in your career. You want to do well. You want to triumph. You want to show that you are the provider for the house. You try to climb up the ladder in your home, and by doing that, you become stressed. Especially if you really want to play the role of a father, that can definitely lead to stress, and that is what we mean by the first stressor of fatherhood is work-life balance. My goodness, do you have anything else to add to that?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I think additionally with the changing like dynamics of your own family, sometimes that balance can be different. So when your children are younger, you maybe find that there is more time required, like in terms of like parenting, and then in different aspects of like your career growth, maybe you'll find that that takes a little bit more time. So even if you like establish balance at one point, I think the stress comes when maybe that balance becomes changed because of the other circumstances.
My goodness, I like that. That is very deep. So it's not. It's very interesting how she puts it. It's not just regular stress, but I'm pretty sure the point is really, really important. If you are just a father of 2 year old, your stress is going to be even greater than a father of like 20 something year old that's sitting by my side. Now, she can do whatever she basically wants. I don't have to stress as much. But for 2 year old, if I had a 2 year old, they would be running around here and I would be stressed. So, additional stress coming because of the age of your children. And if you balance that out, we're trying to make money, trying to work and grow your career, or trying to achieve something else important in terms of, financial wise, then obviously that is going to lead to a lot of stress. No wonder, Ghana people say boys are brave. My goodness. All right, all right. All right, so let's move on to the next point that we think is supposed to happen. So our next thing is parenting. I may have skipped one, right? Let me see. Oh, we are on point actually. Parenting is the next one. So we've done work life balance. Our next one is parenting. So parenting stress, I think that is a huge one. That is a huge one. Parental stress. A lot of women think that stress in parenting it's only on them, you know, but I beg to differ. The boys abroad people will tell you that parenting is as stressful for women just as it is for men. And a lot of men who have, you know, ended up with hypertension uh, or any form of disease, somatic disease. I'm not even talking about mental health. I'm talking about somatic, physical health disease. A lot of men have become, ill because of the stress, especially stress of their teenage children, stress of their, you know, middle school age children who are making life very worse for them. So fatherhood can be stressful, and especially when you are parenting. And so that is what I think. It's bad. It's important. If you're a woman on the live watching us and you disagree that we are as stressed as you are, comment. We'd like to see your comment, and you can defend yourself. We'll show it up live on the stream. But yeah, what do you think about that parenting and stress for fathers?
Yeah, I think if you're going to take on an active role as a parent, as a father, then there's going to be stress that comes along with that.
Huh. That is a huge thing you said. You said if you are going to be taking an active role, does that mean that some fathers don't take active role?
Yeah, I think that like in anything that you do, you can commit yourself 100% or you can take the back seat. So I think that that's why some maybe mothers might feel like the balance is different. But if you are going to be an active and engaged father, then you're likely going to have a little bit more stress than, I mean, somebody who doesn't do that.
Wow, I didn't even think about that. But I'm pretty sure. Let me just get this. I I am actually thinking that fathers take 100% of the role. But I think she's making a very good point. Some fathers are absentee fathers. They just brought the kids to the world and that's it. They don't do anything else. If you are that way, then of course you probably will say, oh, there's no stress because of course you didn't take any active role. So that is a huge point that you have brought. So people who are stressed as fathers due to parenting are people who haven't taken the backseat, like she said. They are actively involved, bringing kids to appointments with them. Just before I came on the live, I was browsing on my Facebook account and I saw pictures of a couple, and the lady is pregnant, and the lady has shown pictures with her and the husband, and the statement that the lady said that is profound on there is that this man has been with me for all appointments, and lo, some of the appointments were weekly appointments. So if you're a father like that, right now, while the woman is pregnant, he's even going to weekly appointments. You can imagine this father boldly coming up and say that, fathers are stressed or boys are bred. This man can be believed. But if you don't take any active role, you just get the person pregnant and you live somewhere, the person lives somewhere, and then you just send money down and that's all you do, or you're paying child support because you're a father. You are not stressed enough. So in that case, you have brought a big point. That is a huge point. In that case, you are in the back seat, and if you're in the back seat, you are not stressed. You cannot qualify as boys are bred. You are not tired yet. You are not stressed because you are not doing your part as the deal that fathers should do. So as far Father's Day come up, now this may make sense why the stores, shops are not going to be as busy as when Mother's Day is around because some fathers are taking the back seat. They are not as stressed. But I'm hoping that those of you who are watching, most of you are all really involved fathers, and therefore you are going to have your woman join those huge queues in line, get the flowers and all the gifts that you need to get, right? Because you are doing your job as a father. So yes, stressed fathers due to parenting. I don't know if you have anything else to add to that.
No, I think that's it.
All right. So in that case, we are kind of actually going to move forward to the next point. Our next point is that relationship stress, and this is another huge area. Another huge area. I don't. You want to start with that, or
You can start off.
you want me to start off with that?
Yeah.
All right. So relationship stress. Now, this is where the dynamics of your marriage or your spouse's relationship with you and the children trying to be a father can collide. You're trying to be there for your wife or the children that I mean your the children, the mother of your children if you are not married to that person, and you're also trying to have another good life with the children that you have, and that can produce its own stress, especially if you are trying to build a relationship with the mother. I'm going to assume that if you have a child or children with somebody, you are living with them and you are married, and so I'm talking more for those people who are in a marital relationship where trying to be a father, or for that matter, even trying to be a mother, becomes an issue on the relationship itself. That is stress. Boys get tired in that area. And I'll leave you to talk a little bit about it, and then I'll come back unless you want me to go.
I think you should go. I think I have limited experience juggling those two aspects, so I think you can
You
speak
have
more to
limited.
it.
Okay. All right. I guess I'll go for it then. Yeah. I mean, in this area, it is very important. And I see this stress a lot on the men. You know, I don't think I had much. I mean, yeah, if I had it, I would probably be able to say because Gifty is not here, right? But but I don't think I had that much stress. And the point being that sometimes when children come in the scene, the women take the children as the gold now, and the fathers become the silver or the bronze. And when that happens, if you're a man that do not have that sort of let me relax. It's the child's time with the mom. Let me take it easy. You can be jealous and you can become seriously stressed just because you don't even see your relationship um, with your wife as growing or anything like that. Why? Because their children have become obviously more important to the parent than to the mother than to you, who is the husband, you know, and it becomes stressful, especially if that is what is happening. So that stress is real, and I know there are certain marriage problems that are out there, and the reason why the problem is there is now that the children are there, the fathers have lost all the attention. So not only are they being stressed by the children themselves, but the children have replaced them in terms of priority for the mothers. And so that has added tremendous stress. So that is what we mean by when we say, fathers getting stressed by being parents. By the stress of fatherhood on your relationship with your spouse, your wife. Typically, is what we mean here. So I don't know if you have any question for me on that front. Or
Do you feel like you've had any relationship stress, or if you haven't, or anything like that? Like, can you share what you've done?
well, I don't think I had that problem or have had that problem because you are still living with us. My wife is pretty good at putting me first, and I know she's watching, so I got to stay the truth, right? My goodness. But yeah, to be honest with you, I am lucky. I don't have that as a problem. But I can understand when that happens, especially in fresh marriages where young people, just get married and having all the fun traveling around, after their honeymoon and everything, and boom, there's a child in the scene, and now all the attention goes on the child. That becomes stressful for the fathers because like they don't matter anymore. The child has become like the secret source for the woman's happiness, and the men are relegated to the back, and that actually hurts some marriages, especially stresses of the fathers, and a lot of stress in that regard. So it affects your personal relationship with your wife. So children can do that, and then on top of that, let's talk about what about the children itself, the children themselves, or the child themselves becoming a problem for the relationship. Do you think that you have seen anything like that?
I think, I guess from very afar, I've seen something like that. But I also wanted to ask a question more so, like, how do you balance, you know, not how, because we're talking more so about the problems, but do you feel like you also see like the opposite occur? So the husband kind of put the relationship, but with the wife higher than like establishing a relationship with the children.
My goodness, that's another one. My goodness, that is another one. That's another one. I haven't seen that happen as much. I don't see that happen as much. If anything, it's the other way around. Mostly, that the children are put higher than the husbands. But it's possible that that could happen. Some husbands that are so determined to make their children succeed may see their children's interests as more important than anything. Forgetting that the wife is the one that actually gave the children. So yeah, you're right. It could happen that way. But to be honest, the other way is always more seen. Most people put their children above, most women put their children above their husbands when the children come in, especially for those who wait a little longer to get children. And once they get the children, it's like the child is everything. The child is everything, and everybody else should go away, Then the boys become tired. Yeah. All right. So apart from that, what else do you think is out there for you know fatherhood stressing or the stress that comes on fathers' relationships to their wife. Do you see anything else in any respect?
I don't think I see anything else, but this issue kind of relates back to the work life balance we were talking about. I
Mhm.
think just balancing, not work in this case, but balancing the relationship with your wife with the relationship with your children.
Okay, and that's a strenuous one. That's a strenuous one. The other thing is, if when it comes to people having to take care of children, right? In the West, where in the U.S. where we are, women and men are equal parties to taking care of children. I've seen people, men. I used to carry you in the stroller all the time when we're going on our car. I will carry you. It doesn't matter when we are in a shop or wherever. I will carry you. Granted, I was young, and sometimes people look at you funny, like a young guy with all these kids around him. But if you look beyond those things and you do that in the West, it is normal. So it's not stressful. But if you're in a place where the culture says that the women have to carry the kids, even the mere fact that you go close to helping out with the kids become like makes you look weak. I mean, in some cultures, understand me, because everything about children, if you have to watch the kids, it's a wife's duty to put the kids to bed. It's a wife duty to feed the kids and all those things. So even trying becomes a stress. So that is there as far as stresses are concerned. That could be so in this case, they are not doing anything, but they are stressed. you know, just the fact that they want to do makes them stressed because people will look at them like, yeah, he's a weak man. Look, the woman controls everything. Even the children, when they are going anywhere, there's the man is carrying the kids. You know, that is primitive, I should say, because in this kind of civilization, it shouldn't continue like that. But once you get through with that and you come to where we are, where it's more like a shared responsibility. Um, if you're a father and you feel too burdened because there's too much on you, you have to do this for the kids, you have to do this. By the time evening comes and you have to do anything, you are tired. Why? Because you have been doing the kid stuff all day, and the women think we don't, but we do, especially here. It's a shared responsibility. It's a life balance, like she said. So that is another stress right there. All right. So with that being said, unless you have any other question, we can. I want to see your comments. No, apart from those three comments, I haven't seen any yet. If you have any question on the live, just post it, and we should see it. Or if you have a comment on any of the things we have said, you probably will make more sense than I'm trying to explain. Just bring it up and let's share together. And if you're touched, give us some stars also, especially at least for the new co-host that we have on the live today. All right. All right. So that is that one. Let's move on to the next one, which is C. The next one that we want to talk about is financial stress. Financial stress for the boys. The boys are tired because of financial stress in fatherhood. Financial stress in fatherhood. You want to start with that?
I mean, from my understanding and I guess watching you, I would say that there is extreme financial burden on fathers, especially in the US, where, sometimes you can find yourself paying for education. I know you've supported me in my own education. I know it can add up to be a lot. So I can understand that being a major stressor on fathers. Yeah. What would you say your experience with financial stress is?
It is a lot. I mean, you just hit the part where it's by your education and stuff. But um, with the fathers, according to our traditions, for most part, most fathers, I mean, even in scripture, most fathers are the head of households. The Bible says that we are the head, and therefore, for the finances of the family, for it to be better, it's up to the man to own up. Even if the wife will work, the man will still have to make provisions for that to happen. So we carry the load as far as finances are concerned. That being said, in this modern era, I've seen families where either the women make more money or they make as much money as the man, and so it doesn't really make much of a stress for the man. But if you are in a place where traditionally men have to provide, all it takes is your woman saying that I can't work and you're stuck. You got to let them just be, because uh, when you went in, you were told that you are the provider for the family. And that can stress a father. My goodness, that is a huge stress thing for fathers, especially when you are limited. By limited, maybe your capabilities, or the place you live, or your education or your skills. If you cannot update yourself to make more money, and the demands for providing for the family increase, they increase. Like, you have to provide a place to dwell, your home. You have to have a home, you have to have a job to provide food on the table for your children and your wife. And apart from that, you have to have some kind of a solvency where you can actually just make life easy for you and the family. All that is supposed to be the burden of men. And that makes a lot of men stressing. I don't know, but I think that is more stressful than just taking care of the kids. Because if you have all the money and your career and everything is figured out, even if you don't know how to take care of kids, you can hire a maid to take care of your kids and relieve your wife a little bit. But if the money is not there, everything is not going to work out. I mean, granted that we don't think everything is permanent. So if it's not working, it's going to change. But at least initially, fathers can be stressed. I think that is a huge stress. My goodness, my goodness. That is financial stress can be very huge on fathers, and even with this, whether or not you are living with your children or you are paying child support, as long as you're providing for a family or providing for your children, financial stress can be very, very serious, regardless of how you want to live. Sometimes you don't want to even live extravagantly. You just want to live, normal, easy life. But that's not enough, because your normal, easy life may not have enough money to house your child. If you don't have a room in your house, now I have you now living with me. If I don't have a room for you to stay, we will have to share the room. So the stress of finances is huge, whether or not you like it. That is why before you become a father, you have to really think through it and know what you're getting into, because it is not in the child's interest to just come to the world and not have anybody taking care of them. But much as we believe that it's a father's responsibility, we still have to have a way to deal with the financial stress that comes in. In our subsequent shows, we're going to have a show next week in which we're actually going to hit on how to deal with these stresses head on. So today is just letting you know what the stresses are out there. But next week, we are actually going to have to talk about how to overcome some of these stresses big time as a father. And hopefully, women and our children can appreciate us on Father's Day, and think highly of us, not just for that purpose, but at least to increase our own ego, you taking care of your family. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything to add, but that is one huge thing that I think is serious concerning finances and fatherhood. Boys are tired. Boys are tired. My goodness. Boys are tired. Do you have any question or anything to add?
No, I think that's pretty much it.
All right. So definitely that is huge. I mean, we can go on that financial tangent over a long period. There are some men too that, excuse me to say, are lazy. I mean, if you're a man and you are lazy, don't have a don't have a child. Don't bring anybody to the world. But if you are willing to become a father, you have to step up to the plate and work hard. Work hard. Even if you don't have education, that shouldn't be an excuse to stay home and say that, as for me, I don't have any good job. Well, work multiple jobs and still live within your means comfortably, taking care of your family. But definitely that is a huge, that stress is deep. And especially, my goodness, I'm going to say this, my goodness, especially, especially if you don't live with a woman, or if you don't marry a woman who can understand to live within your means as it is, and grow with you financially slowly. If you happen to marry the person that wants the easy life right off the bat, we are married, we got to get the house, we got to get a car, we got to get this. Meanwhile, your finances are not there. Oh, woe to you, such a father. You are in deep problem. You are in deep problem. Yes. So it works well when you have a person that supports you in that regard. But if you happen to not only marry the person that is only used to you providing, and then also a person who always seeks to live beyond your means, if you happen to live with such a person as a wife, then the boys will be tired. Trust me, boys will be tired. My goodness. All right, so let's see anybody else. I see some likes and some hearts. I see multiple more people are watching, and I only got two thumbs up and one heart. Come on, man. Come on. If not for me, give it to the young co-host for the first time being on the Life and Help show. Come on, do me that share, do me that like, and do me that thumbs up button, and let's roll together. So definitely financial stress. Financial stress is huge. If you live in a place where the system is requiring only fathers to be the providers, that is a serious thing. And hopefully you can educate your folks or the family of your wife, and your wife can also be educated enough to say that it doesn't work like that anymore. But if that is not accepted norm over there, you are in deep something. I want to use the word, I can't use that word. You are in deep trouble, right? So please, um, let's do that. Financially, men can be stressed when they have children. That is a fact of life. And I'm believing and hoping that our women who are with us are going to make life easier for us. So this Father's Day, as it comes, as we enjoy the fatherhood series, the stress series here, we are hoping that we will make things better and easier for the fathers. But financial stress is something that is deep. So I'm going to see if we have anything else. Yeah. So what we have now is comments. We want to see if anybody has any comments, any questions, and I still see those three here on this Facebook here. I don't see anything else. So no comments. But if you are watching after the replay, if you have a question, if you have a contribution, if you have anything of the sort that would help people who watch this, put it on the live. I'll put it in the comment section, and we will be able to answer them, especially if it's on Facebook, because it will still be there for other people to see. So that is what our show is about. Let's see, the four major stresses in um, fatherhood. So as we did, the stress fathers, and then we also talked about work-life balance stress. We also talked about parenting stress. We talked about relationship stress, stress that affects your marriage, and then stress that affects your finances. Fathers and boys are tired of these stresses. So make time again with us next week, same time. Actually, not same time. Next week, we're going to come back to our regular time of 6 p.m. And hopefully, you can also you can join us with your comments next week. I think it's Father's Day, as they announced at church today. And so Father's Day, I would like a lot of the women to come on the live and wish their husbands happy Father's Day, as well as the kids, so that the fathers will enjoy. But we're going to talk about how to handle these stresses that we've talked about today. And some of them we probably won't finish. We probably will have to do another show, because the finance alone can take an entire show, and as well as the parenting. I'm leading more towards the parental stress, how to handle that. If we get a resource person that is in that area, we will be able to do that. All right. So until that time, then we want to say we are closing out, and so until we see you again next week, we say, beloved, we wish
Wish
above all things
things
that you prosper
prosper,
and be in health, even
even
as
as
your
your
soul
soul
prospers.
prospers.
Thanks for watching. God bless you. And I also want to express my sincere thanks to my own daughter, who took the place of her mom today on the live. Come on, let's give it up for her. My goodness. Thank you, Edith, for making it worth our while. You are smart, and I'm hoping that you are also going to continue to make me stress free like you have done, you and your sister. I love you both. All right, so until we see you again, have a good rest of the day, and God bless you for watching. Thanks.